HTML attributes. So what are HTML attributes? So using VS Code, it will make things easier for you. So attributes is like an additional information about HTML web page. So you pay attention to what we have here. So this source is an attribute. This alt is an attribute. This width is an attribute. Then this height is a what? Is an attribute. So if we come here, HTML attributes. So you can see HTML attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. Then the first thing we have here is all HTML can have attributes. Yes, yes. So if you pay attention to this, you can see this is an attribute, this is an attribute. You can even add an attribute to this head. So that is number one rules of an attribute. Then the next thing is that attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. Yes. Then the next one we have here is attributes are always specified in the start tag. Yes. So if you pay attention to this, is in the start tag. Here too, you can see this is the start tag in line 2. Then the end tag is in line 30. You understand? You can see we have an attribute in the start tag here. Then let us click on this part. You can see the start tag, we have an attribute. So the next thing you need to know about attributes is that they usually come in pairs. You understand? They come in twos. So let me explain further with this syntax. So coming in pairs means that name is equals to then the value will now be in quotes. You understand? So let us check for this. So if you come here, you can see lang is the name, then this en is the value. You can see. So they come in pairs. They come in name and value pairs. So the first one they explain here is the href attribute, in which I've explained that in the anchor tag. Then the next one we have here is the source attributes in the image. I've explained that too. Then so this is the absolute URL and the relative URL I explained earlier. So you can see we have width and height attributes. So an image with width and height attributes. Then the next one alt attributes. So let me explain this alt attribute further. So let's say instead of having person.png, let's say I made a mistake, then I don't add G, then I click on save. So if I come here to check what I have, you see that it will give me a broken image. So we need to know what is there. You understand? So you can now come to this alt and say pics of a, let's just say person. You understand? So let's say if you are using something like picture of a Buhari or Tinubu or any other person, you can just add picture of the president. You understand? If the image is not shown, at least the user can see what is actually there. You understand? So that is uh, the function of alternative text. So the moment I add G here and I come here to refresh, you see that it will bring the image without the text. So it's either the text shows, the image does not show, or you have the image being shown and the text disappeared. So let us move on. So the reason why I'm using this platform, I want you guys to be conversant with it. So it's something you can explore. Understand? Then the next one is style attribute. So let us quickly explore that too. Okay, so here if you pay attention to this H1, so let us view it on our page. So you can see you are welcome to PHA front-end development class. So this color is black. What if I want to change it to red? So if I want to change it to red, it's very easy. I need to come to my start tag. Since we are discussing about attributes, then we know that attributes must always be in the start tag, right? So let us come here and click on space. Then we type style, then equals to, then you add quote. So here we call it inline CSS, although it is an attribute, right? Then at the same time, it is also CSS. So this is the syntax for CSS. For inline CSS, we just say style equals to then the CSS property colon the CSS value. So it must follow this syntax. So what do I mean by syntax? Syntax means a step-by-step method of writing a particular language. Understand? We all know that HTML is a what? A markup language, right? So here, my property I'm going to add here is some color, just a color. Then I will say colon, then the color name. So let me just say type red. You come here and you refresh, then you have color red. So there's one thing about VS Code. You can hover on this and change the color, any color you want. You can come here and change the color. So let's say we want something like this. So you save, you come here and then you refresh. So you have that color. So that is about some style attributes. We make it to beautify our HTML. Then the next one is the lang attribute. So that is what we have here, lang attribute. So let us come down. So I think the last one we have here is the title attribute. Okay. So let me teach you how the title attribute works. So let's say this image we want to add title attribute. So let's say title. Then let's say this pics is for a random person. So a random person. So if you have something like this, you can just press Alt Z so that it will compress the code for you so that you can have it like this. So you can see this pics is for random person. So this is how title attribute works. So if I hover on this image, by default you can't see anything, right? So the moment I refresh and I hover on it, can you see it? It will bring a tool tip. You understand? You can say this space is for a random person. So title attribute is not meant for image only. You can even use it for paragraph. You can use it for H1. You can use it for an anchor tag too. You understand? So that is all about HTML basics, the basics of HTML. So we've discussed about some styles too. Then the next one is HTML comment.